What up? It's your boy D Dot. You know what the deal is. Major Music, Icebreaker Radio, Producers Corner. Appreciate everybody, checking out the video as usual. Appreciate a lot of the feedback I've been getting over the past couple of days. Definitely means a lot as far as just the support and the people that's one of the things really that motivates me as well is, all of you guys that really support my work and what I do and just the ability really to just reach people and know that, I can help people reach their dreams, not necessarily through music, but just other ways of life, and vice versa. I mean, it's kind of a mutual thing, You guys, as I said, y'all help motivate me a lot as well. Just getting the day started, another beautiful day. Went do some working out this morning, listen to a couple of motivational audios to get my day started. And the usual stuff, of course, ESPN radio. I can't go a morning all day without that. But it's gonna be really about putting things into action today. We just gonna talk a little bit about that because starting this music out, and this is whether you're a producer or artist, everybody has these big aspirations, and that's really cool. But the bigger thing you have to always ask yourself is, I'm gonna go from point A to point B, and that's simple. I mean, well, it's not as simple, but I mean, just getting started and putting things into action, that's really the key. I mean, everybody I see that it's not necessarily about even being a signed artist. I know a lot of artists that just put things into action on a daily basis, and they've built, excuse me, pretty good underground careers by just doing simple things like having a routine. Like I know some guys that they may plan their album out 6 months, at a time as far as how they're gonna complete the album, and they say, hey, all right, this is the stage where I'm gonna go and find my production, and then this is the stage where I'm gonna write, and then this is the stage where I'm gonna go to the studio, and I want to have everything completed by such and such a date. And that's really important to how you can overall just keep your career going and staying relevant. Because in between that time, you can also be doing other things outside of just your music directly. Things like collaborating. You may want to start your own radio show. You may want to blog. I mean, this is an example of one right here. I mean, I'm not only a producer and an artist. I do radio, and then every day I try to also bring blogs to everybody. Just another avenue for me to really keep myself going. Because just think about when you kind of let your foot off the gas, that's really not a great moment. In other words, you have a lot more time on your hands to really get things you probably shouldn't get into. Let's just be honest about that. I mean, whether that's hanging out with friends that may influence you to do some bad things, well, that doesn't necessarily make them bad people. I mean, we all got people we care about in our lives, but they may just not see the world in a positive manner, and that can definitely reflect on yourself. So you got to be sure to avoid that kind of stuff, and I mean that can really lead to other things. I mean, I always think positive energy brings more of the same, negative energy brings more of the same, but it kind of all begins up here, and you just gotta become a doer, not just a sayer and a wisher. I mean, if you're consistent and you're doing these things, I promise you, you will notice a change in maybe how people hear your music online, how many people hit you up to work, all those things. You're gonna definitely see a increase in that, and you're gonna get shows, maybe some radio interviews. You just gotta keep on working. People will start to notice. I started this thing. I'm sure a lot of you know I started this thing in 2006, and that's when I got my LLC for Major Music ENT, and At first, I didn't really see the bigger picture of it. It took me some time. I mean, I was into the whole going out every night. I remember we used to stay out on the weekends, staying out all night, going to work with no sleep, then getting off, and time that I could be spending in the studio working on music, I was sleeping, doing other things. And again, it took me years to kind of snap out of it, but eventually I did. And then other things started happening for me. As you know, Icebreaker Radio, releasing all these projects, videos. Just a lot of other ventures really presented themselves to me just through the people I've met and put myself in the right places and put my money in the right places as well. You gotta take some time out really to invest in yourself, invest in your mind, invest in your learning as an artist or a producer, because you're not gonna get better without those things. And it's something that really separates the hobbyist artist from the serious artist. I say it all the time. And trust, you put these things into motion, you're gonna notice a change in your life. And as you as you expand, I don't know, you may want to get into some other things. I mean, some guys I know start out as rappers. They end up going doing production, and then vice versa. I was actually one of those guys who went vice versa. I hung around. I got a lot of guys that rap, like Boom, 3D, Scott Free, and I just was like, hey, I want to give this thing a shot. I had been writing since like my high school days. We used to, in class, we never got anything going though. I had two guys that I went to school with. I don't think they're doing music anymore because I don't really see, well, one of them I don't see at all. The other guy, I just don't see him doing music. But anyhow, we had plans on coming up with a group, and we used to joke around. That was like late '90s, of course, but we never got to doing that. And then I could remember I had an apartment around 2000, 2001, and we would I would make some beats on this music studio program that I had on my computer, which is a copy and paste loop program. And I guess that's when the ball kind of started rolling. Cause I'm from the South, and we are big on screw music out in Louisiana and Texas. Well, at least at that particular time. I live in Dallas now. It's not really big up here, more so in H-Town. I can't speak for back home in Louisiana, but those guys were one of my friends and a cousin of mine. Those guys were freestyling, and they were kind of doing it with I guess that type of delivery, how those H-Town rappers used to rap back then. And I came just a whole different way in terms of my bar structure. And I guess at that point in time, people used to tell me, man, I need to really pursue this, because I always wanted to pursue production more than I wanted to pursue rapping. Rapping just kind of happened for me, and I've done things as far as which kind of reminds me of another thing. Staying active in this and collaborating with other people can also lead you to grow your fan base. That's one of the things I did on Major Moves too, for example. There are several artists on that album that I've never ever done a song with, that I've just gotten to do a song with for the first time. And I picked up a couple of new fans just off of that one project, just from every artist, And the next project I come out with, I'm probably gonna do the same thing. And I don't really just collab with anybody. I like to keep it really a tight circle as far as just artists that I see with a pretty good following, and that's really consistent as well. That's another thing, because if you're not consistent in what you do, people are gonna definitely look at that and just perceive it as, oh, well, he's kind of does this thing from time to time. He's playing a little game, as to think, opposed to thinking about you as a serious artist. And the album really got a lot of good feedback from Major Moves too. It's actually on my website, and I'm gonna be working on a new EP. I plan on releasing later on this year. And as I said, I'm gonna do the same thing, and maybe even shoot one or two videos, kind of like I did with some guys on the previous album, and just hope to, well, I will, it's no doubt that once you connect with somebody else, you're going to instantly pull in some of their fan base and just some of their followers, and just an ongoing process. That's really how things start compounding and growing. Because I met a lot of guys that way through the industry, and that just even reached out to me after that project. So that's a couple of things that you can really do to keep putting things into action and just keep yourself going. It's been about 10 minutes. Again, I kind of like to keep my videos about that long. One big thing before I go is I'd like to invite everybody that watched the video to please tune in to the Producer's Corner next Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. Really any Monday night if you're available. We got a couple of more weeks without football, so no excuses. If you want the knowledge, it's there. We're accepting questions from anything in relation to music marketing, pro audio engineering, just general production questions. Reach out to myself or the crew. Shout out to Big Rich, Trey, Corey, and Chosen on icebreakerradio.com. I also want to invite you artists and producers or DJs, please submit your music to us. It's one of the only sites on the internet that connects the artist, DJ, producer, and just hip-hop fan in general. We are based out here in Dallas, and we're going to start having a lot more events as well. And, if you're in our rotation, you're going to get a lot of exposure. We've done interviews with everybody on the network, from Paul Wall, producer Drummer Boy, Tony Dofat. We had a lot of music managers on there, independent producers, artists. Man, I can go on and on, but it definitely has brought a lot more opportunities to me as an individual, and a lot of people really know, like, who I am. Like, I remember when we had Tony Dofat on the show, and I tweeted him right after the show, and he tweeted retweeted my tweet to over like 50,000 people, and got a couple of followers off of that as well. And it's just really, man, we teach you how to grow your brands and how to grow yourself as an artist or a producer. We're open to answering questions about anything in relation to those, and just the serious artist, and helping you get to where you want to be as an artist or producer in this game, because the game is changing. It's not like it was in the 90s when you can go and send your CD into a label, or your tape or your demo into a label, and hope you get signed. I think a lot of artists these days are just focused on some of the wrong things instead of just making good music. Everybody wants to get signed, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like in about 10, 20 years, there won't be any more labels. On top of that, there's a lot of independent money and opportunities a lot of people are leaving on the table. I mean, don't get blinded by what you see on MTV and BET. I know a lot of guys, cashing in like $75,000 checks just from television publishing every 3 months. Like, currently, I'm shopping some tracks right now to get published. So, I'm crossing my fingers, hope something keeps on popping up. But again, I'm putting things into action. I keep on making beats, sending them in, so eventually something will pop off. I believe that, and I'm confident that will happen. Again, appreciate the support. Everybody that checked out the video, hit the like button, subscribe to Major Music TV, leave a comment, leave a question on the show. Again, I'm inviting everybody to come on the show, or just listen to the Producer's Corner on Monday nights. We have a lot of other shows on the network throughout the week. Pretty Girl Rock, a couple of DJs have some shows on the network. Core DJs and the Definition DJs have some shows on the network. So, just connect with us, man. We inviting you guys. Please connect with us. Follow me on Twitter at DEEDOT81 or at Major Music Beats. And also visit the website, MajorMusicENT.com, if you need that production. You can also post your work in the forums on the website, and there we got some videos as well. You can check out past interviews, tips, and and just some of my music videos, some free downloads on the website as well. It's been your boy D Dot with another Major Music TV, and hope everybody has a great afternoon. I'm out.